Hello, it's Leanne Jago back again for Two Sisters Art. I have the July art sampler box. So some of you might have seen that I actually did a tag and it was really awesome, but facepalm or I don't know what happened, and the main part actually didn't record. So I'm recreating it for you because I really like the project. I think it came out really well. Obviously the second one in the actual sketchbook that came with the sampler kit isn't going to be as great, but it's still pretty cool. So yeah, let's just start with that. So I've just used some of the Atelier gel medium that was in the last kit to adhere some of these pages down. Obviously it wasn't working very well, and I don't let things dry, and so when I go to roll some, it was just some of the gesso over the top, so when I go to brayer some of it on, it just doesn't work, it keeps pulling it up. So there I'm just using I've got the orange slice of the Vicky Bruton acrylic paint in there. How did Tanya know that orange was my favourite colour of all time? I don't know. I am being sarcastic just in case you didn't pick that up. But anyway, I've used it. I have challenged myself and I've used it. So just with the stamp that was in the last box as well, so I am reusing it. So you do get a lot of value out of these kits, guys. So I've just got the stamp, I wet it down, and then I just rubbed on some of the Acryl, the Lyra Aquacolors. I had the Parisian blue, and just then I used the silver grey. I also got the rose carmine, so you see that later on. So yeah, I've just layered those couple of stamps on, give it a good dry off. Now I'm just using another Kinder Creation stencil, so it's got some tulips on it. I mean, I could have hand drawn them, but I didn't because I wanted to cheat because I was being lazy and I wanted some extra texture. So again, with that heavy gel medium that we got in the last one, so I'm just scraping it through that stencil. I'm not taking too much care as to whether it's nice and smooth and all pretty, because I like texture, I like bumps. So if it didn't work through it in spots, well then you know what? It just added to it, so that's fine. I mean, I think sometimes we get overdone with making things perfect, and I think challenging ourselves sometimes to not worry about that is part of a challenge as well. So anyway, so now I'm getting out the watercolor pencil. So this is a pretty cool pencil. So Faber-Castell watercolor black, great for outlines. It does bleed a little bit, but not so much as what your Stabilo All does. So just remember that if you want that effect of the outline and the bleeding that an all pencil does. It doesn't quite do the same job, but it is pretty cool as well when you're going to use it as a border, which is all I've done here. And then, as you can see, I just roughly sketched around where the stencil came out, made it squiggly lines, didn't make anything perfect, and then yeah, bled it out a little bit. And now I'm just drying it again. And now with that rose coloured pen acryl marker, so just colouring in over the top of the gel medium, watering it down, applying some more while it's still a bit wet, just to give it some texture. And I really like the effect. I think it ends up really cool, you know. Yeah, it ends up pretty cool. So at the end, I'm actually going to show close-ups of the actual page here that I'm doing right now, and there will be some of the tag as well that I did. So exactly the same way, obviously, except for the tag, I stitched the edges and then I stitched some, I used baby white down the side. So it's exactly the same, guys, pretty much. Oh, and I didn't do any journaling on the tag, but anyway. So just with the pen, the blue again, scribbling it around the outside, wetting it down, and then I just lifted some of the colour back up with just a baby wipe. And now I'm just going around with that Zig Rider, and just sort of adding a little bit more detail, so making it a little bit more fuzzy and a little bit more sketchy looking around the flowers. So that looks pretty cool. And then I decided just to do some Islamic writing, so just writing that doesn't actually say anything. It's just, yeah, writing. And then just over the top with some of the crackle paste that I really like. I mean, you could have done it, the same effect would be with just a gesso scraped on, I just like that effect of the crackle. You just get a little bit more texture in it. Then I just added some of the marker pens that we got in there in the green. So here's some close-ups of that one. So yeah, I really liked how it turned out. Obviously, trying to do something the second time is not going to be as good as the first time. It just doesn't work the same, but it's pretty cool. It's pretty similar. So yeah, thanks guys for watching. I have another video as well for the July sampler box. So